trophy has a red and gold reflection.
These guys are hungry for more. They want to build a dynasty here.
Believe in each other. Fly around. Let's find a way to win.
And he's going to be hit. Chris Jones got him in a bear hug. Pacheco blasts into the end zone at the 10-5. Leaped to the end zone. Touchdown.
The Chiefs dropped another tough one last week for their second loss in a row. But with only 4 games left until the postseason, the Chiefs' goals are still right there. It's just a matter of getting back on track, and that objective begins here today against the New England Patriots. We are 2 hours from kickoff. You've waited all week for this very moment. It's finally here. It is time for football in Chiefs Kingdom. Let's do this. My name is Matt McMullen, joined by voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus. This is Field Pass, presented by StorageMart. And Mitch, tough couple weeks for the Chiefs, but great opportunity to get back on track here today.
Yeah, it's human nature that we go to a place we're thinking, gosh, it's despair and everything's over and the world's going to end, instead of thinking, well, wait a minute. This team won 2 Super Bowls when they trailed by a collection of 54 points in those 2 runs. Can we just wait a minute and take it week by week? Because the AFC, we know, is still in play. The AFC West have a chance to go up 2 games with 3 games to go. That's what's on the plate today.
Yeah, it's important to remember all of that. 4 games left in the regular season, and everything is still right there for the Chiefs. Like you said, they control their own destiny in the AFC West. The Lions beat the Broncos last night, so the Chiefs have a 1.5 lead coming into today's game, and they still have a great shot at getting the top seed in the conference. If you look at the schedules of the teams ahead of them, just a matter of getting back in the win column and taking care of business.
Absolutely, and then overcoming the challenge that the fact that the Patriots have had 10 days to prepare for them. The Packers had 10 days to prepare for the Chiefs. The Bills had 2 weeks to prepare for the Chiefs. And the Raiders will have 11 days to prepare for the Chiefs. Hasn't happened in 35 years. It's not an excuse. It's just real. But that just tells you how the Chiefs have to be on point in this game from the very first second of this game.
Well, and part of that is flushing what happened last week, right? And that's difficult. Once again, human nature. Heartbreaker last week, but you have to move on from it. You can't dwell on it. And that's why we're so lucky to have the leadership and the culture we have here in Kansas City. That's real. You need that in moments like this. You can't dwell on what happened, but you have to learn from it.
And I had good visits this week with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I mean, these were personal visits. They're in good places.
Yeah.
And obviously with Coach and his leadership, and we've been here before, and a chance to, hey, let's create some energy, as Coach would say, and starts right here against these guys who are capable of making this a rough day. So let's go, Kingdom. Let's just find it again.
Well, you mentioned Patrick and Travis. I want to ask you about the Chiefs' offense. We saw some good things last week. I think we saw some real resiliency at times. I mean, the Chiefs were down 14-0 to a Bills squad fighting for their season. They outscored Buffalo 17-6 the rest of the way. What are you hoping to see from the offense here today?
To start faster, that's obviously. Yeah. But I think on the offensive end, it's just a matter of it's just avoiding the play, the one play that will throw the drive off. It seems like we've been saying this. I feel like Bill Murray smashing the clock on Groundhog Day. But the hold, if you look at last week's game, early on, there was something that just kind of threw everything off, right? And the fumble by Rashee Rice at the 50-yard line, even though that didn't come out, we were able to recover from that. But still, it's just cleaning all that up and then able to hit a shot, or when you get to the red zone, make sure you try to, get touchdowns. And it's just a sense of urgency, I think, from the first second.
Yeah, truly just avoiding the self-destructive stuff. And that's important because this Patriots defense is good.
Yes,
if you look at the numbers, don't let their record fool you. I mean, these guys have the 6th best red zone defense in the NFL. They're allowing touchdowns at only a 46% clip in the red zone, and it's the #1 rushing defense in the league. They're only allowing 3.2 yards per rush this season, best in the NFL, and they've also allowed the fewest runs of double-digit yardage in the NFL this season. This defense is no joke.
And a couple things that also, to add to your stats, is they've only allowed an average of 11 points a game over the past month. Think about it. They lost the game 6-0 here. Well, that's not on the defense. They forced 8 punts in that game. And they're losing games 13-10. So this defense is really a playoff caliber defense. The other thing that caught my eye is a running play in the NFL, 4 yards. That's a win. If you get 4.0 yards, you're considering that's a win or almost a tie. These guys are the best in the league, the New England Patriots, at preventing runs of 4+ yards, especially on first down. It's alarming how good they've been there. That doesn't mean you don't try to run the ball some, but you mentioned they're good against the run. They're good against the run early in the drive, early on the series of downs, and that's where they can become really, really difficult.
And overall, it's really a bend but don't break kind of defense, because they've allowed 27 10-play drives this year. That's a lot. That's 8th most in the NFL. But on those drives, opponents have scored touchdowns just 30% of the time. So they want to frustrate you. They want you to use 8 minutes of clock, get down into the red zone, settle for a field goal, and then they really want this game to be like in the mud, right? They want it to be 13-10 in the fourth quarter, because that gives them an opportunity offensively. You mentioned this earlier. For the Chiefs offensively, you just got to finish drives that go into the red zone with touchdowns.
And you alluded to it, this team is 6th in red zone defense, only 45.9% touchdowns. So they'll let you get down there, but then they'll go, nah, you're just going to get 3 here. And that becomes frustrating for an offense that is trying to look to hit a big play or trying to look to get 7 points. And the frustration builds as the afternoon goes on. The stuff we're saying, people are going, wait a minute, you guys said that before the Buffalo game. Wait a minute, you said that, you and Ari said that before the Green Bay game. Yes, these guys can play that way. You said get it in the mud, right? But these guys do that every week. They don't just do that designed for the Chiefs. And so that's why Kansas City, again, has got to stay away from the frustration. Stay disciplined on offense, and that includes everybody, including Patrick.
This defense also likes to blitz. They have the 5th highest blitz rate in the NFL at 34.7%. They've blitzed at least 10 times in every game this season. Sets up a very interesting decision for Coach Belichick, because nobody likes to blitz Patrick Mahomes, right? And for good reason. He's the 4th least blitzed quarterback in the NFL this season. Very curious to see how often the Patriots choose to blitz here today.
You know what was bizarre, though, about the Buffalo game? How many times Buffalo blitzed in that game?
Blitzed a lot.
It was a complete surprise. Think about field pass there. Usually, I think we're usually right on in field pass. We were dead wrong in that one, because Buffalo had 2 weeks to prepare. They had delayed blitzes. They had twists. They had games. They were throwing the kitchen sink at Patrick Mahomes. Now, what Bill Belichick has done in the past, too, which accentuates this problem, is the fact that he takes Travis Kelce away. In the last 7 games, Travis Kelce has averaged only 50 yards a game. In the 2 playoff games against these guys, both losses, Travis Kelce had 23 yards and 23 yards. That's it. That's usually 1 completion for him. So, back to your blitzing, Kelce's getting doubled. Where's the hot? Who can get hot? Who can get open? Who can make a tight window catch? Does Patrick make the right read? That's the key to this game, because what Bill Belichick will do, even though he's great defensively, you got a shot at a big play in this game. They're going to give you that shot. Can you find it? Can you complete it and execute it?
And the offensive line has to protect.
Yeah.
They've been good this season, maybe the best offensive line in the NFL. They've allowed the least sacks in the NFL of any team. And how about Wanya Morris last week? Of course, a rookie making his first career start at left tackle against Von Miller and the Buffalo Bills. He was great. He'll be out there again here today. And speaking of Wanya, I had a chance to catch up with him earlier this week. All right, we're joined now by Chiefs offensive tackle Wanya Morris. And Wanya, what a game for you last week. You make your first career start at left tackle. No big deal. You're facing the Buffalo Bills defensive line and Von Miller, and you were great. I mean, you more than held your own. What was the experience like being out there, and how much fun was it finding success in your first career start?
It was surreal, man. My only thing was just go out there and just ball. Do all you can do, because that's all you can do. All you can do is all you can do. And the first time I seen Vaughn line up against me, I'm like, oh, my God. I feel like I'm in Madden or something. You know how you in Madden, you see Vaughn, he got his X Factor on. I'm like, okay, just be patient, calm down, just do what you do. And just being able to go against that talent like that is just a blessing, man. And to say that you guys say I was successful doing it too, man, I feel blessed. Well,
the tape doesn't lie. You were more than successful. I mean, you were awesome. And it says a lot, because before the Packers game, you had played 8 offensive snaps this year. You played a lot on special teams, but just 8 offensive snaps. The Packers game, Donovan was trying to fight through it, but eventually he couldn't go, and you had to go into the fire and play. It's a whole different experience, though, being the starter all week and getting ready for the Bills. What was the week like getting ready for your first ever start?
The one thing I try to do is just always prepare the same, never change those preparation, because what was different from last week than this week, always prepare the same. But one thing I did try to do was just hyping on the details a little more than usual, If he say travel low, I'm traveling a little lower. I'm over-exaggerating it. Just so, I get in the game, it happens just right. Obviously, I didn't do everything right. I just want to go in and see what I did wrong and just fix those mistakes, obviously.
I'm guessing it helped having Trey out there with you.
Definitely. It definitely boosted confidence, because seeing I play with guys like this. I played with that guy, and we're dang near going against the same competition, just a little bit better. So, so I'm just out there thinking, okay, these guys got my back. I know if I mess up, they're gonna pick up my head and just say, let's keep going, Wanye. Like, this is welcome to the NFL.
Yeah.
This is what it is. So you're gonna have to get your mind ready for that. And that's what he did a good job telling me, just keep your head up. You're going to make mistakes. Just keep going. You got a full game ahead of you.
For listeners that don't know, Wanye and Trey played together at Tennessee for 2 years, I believe, 2019, 2020. It's even funnier because in camp we had a guy by the name of Jerome Carvin here.
Yes.
You, Jerome, and Trey were 3/5 of the Tennessee offensive line, and then you were in camp in the NFL.
Yep.
And you and Trey are obviously still both here playing on the same team.
Yep.
When you first found out you were coming to the Chiefs and you're going to play again with your buddy Trey Smith, what was that experience like?
I was like, oh, my goodness. No freaking way. He was actually the first person to call me after I got off the phone with Veach.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, man, I can't believe this is surreal. I'm like, man, tell me about it. We probably called each other like 2-3 times after that, just saying, like, this is crazy. We're going to be back together again. Like, I don't think people know, but at Tennessee, Trey was like a big brother to me. He was one of the main reasons I chose to pick Tennessee because, like, he just showed me, like, the brotherhood, the kinship, He showed me the love, the passion. Like, everybody wanted the same goals. Everybody wanted to be great. And just him pushing me to be greater, it just helps me that much more,
You played in some cool venues, man. You played at Neyland, then you played at Oklahoma. You were a Sooner for a year. Now you're playing here in Kansas City. Like, these crowds that you've had a chance to play for is pretty incredible, huh?
Yeah, Chief Kendall, man, y'all are amazing, first of all. Y'all get loud on Sundays, and I love the chant. I love the chop. That's my favorite thing. I love when we start the game like that, first of all. But just being able to play in crowds like that and just be experienced, because, sometimes people get in the game, the noise really bothers them. So just being able to X that noise out and just lock into the little details and the things that you need to do and just exit out the noise, man, I can say I got some pretty good experience at it.
Yeah, I think you do. Well, that's part of, I think, being a pro is that everyone's good in the NFL, but the best players are the ones that can kind of block out that noise. Mm-hmm. You were able to do that against the Bills, and it says a lot when you watch the tape that oftentimes the coaching staff wasn't giving any extra chips to your side. Like, they were just doing a 5-man protection, and you were holding your own. Yeah. What's that mean to you that the coaching staff believes in you and knows that you can handle your man and your assignment?
It obviously just shows the trust, and things like that. It boosts your confidence as a player. I took the challenge, and I accepted it, Some people see that as a threat, but I accept the challenge, I like being on my own. I like being on the island anyway. It's fun out there because you really get to see what you're made of. You get to compete, man. Because those rushers get better each and every day. Like the Bills lead on, like you said, those guys were amazing. And just being able to go against that competition by yourself and just see what you're really made of, it gives you that type of confidence. Just keep going.
And you have like a nasty demeanor out there. Like, you have like an edge to you when you're playing. You're not just blocking your guy. You're like going after him, whether it be run blocking or pass blocking. Where does that come from?
When I was younger, people used to tell me I was too nice. Eventually in high school, a coach pulled me to the side. I'm watching the track team run practice. He says, Wanye, like, this year, like, stop being so nice. Go out there and be mean. Just be aggressive. I said, okay. I'm like, I'm try it. And then after that, I just got stuck on it. I just love finishing people. It's just like, just being able to just finish somebody, throw them into the ground against their will, like, that's the utmost greatest feeling ever, honestly, just finish somebody.
Well, this guy has a very bright future. He is not too nice on the football field. We definitely saw that against the Bills. Wanye Morris, excited for you, man. Thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
No problem.
All right, great stuff there from Wanye Morris. Awesome guy. I just love this dude. He has like an authentic zest for life. We talked for a while off set, and he's just so excited for this opportunity, and he's not going to waste it.
When you're named after a Boys to Men guy, you got to be that way. But I think my granddaughter is the president and secretary-treasurer of the Trey Smith fan club. She's got it all over her room, right? I might quickly become that for the Wanye Morris fan club. When I watched him play his first start last week, his block on Greg Rousseau on McKinnon's rushing touchdown, go back and find it. The screen pass, and you highlighted this during the week on the app, but his play on the screen pass, he goes from the left hash all the way to the right numbers. That plays a 20-yard gain because of Wanye Morris. His athleticism, toughness, he'll get a lot today. Belichick will go after him, but I am excited about the future of Wanye Morris.
This was former Tennessee Volunteers, man. My mom's in the fan club.
Hound dogs.
Former Vol. All right, we just got the inactives. Quickly, I want to ask you about this Patriots offense, though, and Bailey Zappi making his third consecutive start. Been a mixed bag for Bailey Zappi. So back in Week 13 against the Chargers, he completed only 52% of his passes, averaged 5.64 yards per attempt, a passer rating of 68.9. And most importantly, the Patriots didn't score, so not very good. But much different story last week against Pittsburgh. He completed 68% of his passes, averaged 8.57 yards per attempt, a passer rating of 115.2, and he threw 3 touchdowns in a victory. Showed that he could play on a primetime stage. Your thoughts on Bailey Zappi? If
the Patriots would have made him QB1 from the week 1 of the season, they wouldn't be 3-10. Bailey Zappi's 3-1 as a starter in this league. He was 2-0 last year. I'm not sure why they weren't playing him. Nothing for you Alabama fans to get mad about. But there's a tie-in here to Patrick Mahomes. Bailey Zappi's guru as offensive coordinator at Houston Baptist, where they basically started a program from nothing. Now it's Houston Christian. Before he transferred to Western Kentucky, is the same guy that coached Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech as a grad assistant, but he was the pseudo quarterback coach. I talked with Patrick about it this week. He said, Patrick's followed Bailey Zappi because they have the tie of this coach. And Bailey Zappi's good. He's good enough to win this game. Now they try to keep things. They'll throw to the running back, Ezekiel Elliott. They threw to him 7 times last week. The Chiefs have to figure that out. But I'm telling you, don't go to sleep on Bailey Zappi. He's feisty. Good player. Had a good game last week. Hopefully this Chiefs defense, which remains the number 3 scoring defense in the NFL, can shut him down today. All right, Mitch, we have the inactives. But first, it's discount promo code time. This is a good one. All right? The promo code this week is Touchdown Kansas City. Touchdown Kansas City is the promo code this week. If you say that at checkout at the Pro Shop at the stadium. Do you have to say it like Touchdown Kansas City? I think you should, right? You have to. I think you should. Emphasis, people. You're going to get 10% off your purchase if you say that at checkout. Now, as always, there are some rules around this. The offer is not valid on game day or the day before. It cannot be stacked with other discounts. It's in-store only, unfortunately. Does not work online. Only the Pro Shop at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. And it excludes memorabilia, Oakleys, Ray-Bans, and sale items. But everything you see us wearing on our shows, including these awesome jackets, which Ari and I wore these in Green Bay a few weeks ago. That's the show that Mitch wasn't on. And he texted me the next day. He's like, any chance I can get one of those jackets? And we got him one here today, and you can have one too. If you go to the Pro Shop, grab the jacket and say Touchdown Kansas City at checkout. Hopefully you're saying that a few times here today, right? Yeah, absolutely. But you and I are both last-minute Christmas shoppers too, yes, right? Yes, we are. We're that guy. Well, how about Christmas shopping using that promo code Touchdown Kansas City at the Pro Shop? Because you can go in there and, hey, take care of everybody on your list in one fell swoop, so go for it. I love it. All right, let's go over the inactives here. For the Chiefs, not a lot of news. We already knew this stuff. Running back Isaiah Pacheco not going to play today with a shoulder injury. Coach Reed revealed that he had surgery on his shoulder this week, but he expects him back next week. So great news there for Isaiah Pacheco. Left tackle Donovan Smith, as I mentioned earlier, not going to play here today with that neck injury. Second straight game for Wanye Morris at left tackle. Some good news, Drew Tranquill is back. Missed last week's game in concussion protocol. That's a big deal getting Drew Tranquill back for this game. And let me tell you why it's a big deal, because don't think that there won't be some times where Drew Tranquill and Nick Bolton play together in this game today. They've only been together 4 times in 13 weeks. Weeks 1, 2, 4, and 6. That's it. Either Bolt's been out or Tranquill's been out. To have them both out here and can mix and match, Spags will use that along with Willie Gay Jr. and the other linebackers. And, of course, Leo Chenal is having a great season. But to have Bolt and Tranquill together is a bigger deal and could lead to a win today. Now, looking at the Patriots, they have some significant inactives. So check this out. So we already knew about running back Ramondre Stevenson. He's not going to play with an ankle injury. He leads New England in rushing yards and receptions. So that's a big deal. But look at some of these here, Mitch. Some of these questionable guys.
Juju Smith-Schuster, of course, old friend Juju Smith-Schuster with an ankle injury, not going to play here today. So no Juju. He had 4 catches for 90 yards last week against Pittsburgh. We know what Juju can do when he's healthy.
Yes, sir.
That's significant that he's not going to play here in this one. And also, offensive tackle Trent Brown, not going to play here today with an ankle and a hand injury, and he's also sick. He's questionable coming in. He's our starting left tackle. No Trent Brown here in this game. A couple guys that will go, though, is linebacker Jawan Bentley. Popped up on the injury report on Friday, which is never good because it means they got hurt in that practice. He's their second leading tackler. With a knee injury, he was questionable coming in. He's active here in this one. And defensive tackle Christian Barrymore with a shoulder injury. He was questionable coming in as well. He is active. He leads New England in pressures with 37. But no Trent Brown, no Juju Smith-Schuster, and no Ramondre Stevenson. That's significant.
Big time. You got to cave in that left side of the offensive line for them. And for Bailey Zappi, again, here's where he's going today. They will use, in the passing game, Ezekiel Elliott. It's how they won last week. That and Hunter Henry. If you listen to the radio pregame, I talked with Coach earlier about it. We know about those guys, right? Now, Elliott was great with the Cowboys, and Hunter Henry, longtime Charger. Those are where Bailey Zappi centers his life. That and our old good friend Mike Gesicki. Remember, he had the catch for the Dolphins to beat New England, which allowed us to get the 1 seed back in 2019. A little bit of Gesicki, but a whole lot of Hunter Henry and Ezekiel Elliott. The linebackers have got to be on their game today, but we got a full complement of backers.
Well, I'll close with this. It's been a tough couple weeks for the Chiefs. We all know that. We're not used to losing back-to-back games in Kansas City. First time in over 2 years. But as we've talked about throughout our show, it's all still there for the Chiefs. Just got to take care of their business. It's a 1-game playoff the rest of the way, and that begins here today against the Patriots. For Mitch Holthus, I'm Matt McMullen. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Let's go get a victory!